This is how you riblessly fillet a largemouth. Start with the essentials. I like to use gloves because it keeps the scales from getting on your hands and getting your hands all nasty, but I don't need that. My hands are already all nasty. The scale is optional. I like to see how big the fish is before I fillet it and after. And obviously your fillet knife. Depending on what size of fish that you are cutting into will matter on how big or small your knife is. And what I like to use is, I'm just going off the tailgate right now. It needs to be on something flat or else the fillets are gonna come out gross, because it needs a flat surface for your knife and the fish to be able to catch on. Start with the obvious. Get your bass. Now, let's see how big she was. See how big she was. In the tail fin, because you want to get as much meat as you can from this area. Because some people cut too early and some people cut too late, getting into that hard meat. You want to go right in that even middle. Cut down. You want to get your fillet knife and work your way down its spine. But you want to be careful because sometimes you can go over into this other side, so you want to keep it to one side as much as you possibly can. Beginning line, you just want to run it right down the ribs. Okay, you want to run it down the ribs. As you can see, I'm pulling the meat up to make sure I'm not ruining the cuts, because I want to make it right down to the bone. And then once you make it to this somewhat tail end, like I have right here, you want to stick your knife in, point it down because it's just bone, and then just go as deep as you can. If you look, that is almost all bone. I'm going to repeat this process until you get to the ribs. Alright, I got into the ribs. If you look, mostly I've gotten almost all and missed almost none of the meat. That is all rib and bone. Now the ribs are what I've noticed people have the hardest time with, especially with bass, because they have a very big stomach. What you need to do is you need to cut over the ribs but not into them, because that will expose the stomach. I'm going over the ribs. As you can see, with the bass in particular, they have a very big rib stomach area. So you want to cut down into this area, over it, and then cut out the fillet like I just showed you. And you should be left with something like this. One thing I forgot to mention, you want to cut that area right there, because a lot of times I notice, even when I fillet fish, I miss them. So you want to be careful of that area. Now, pointer tip. You want to bleed your fish. I didn't bleed this, and if you look, you can see that the blood ran through the fish. When you're trying to kill them, they send chemicals and stuff through their body to try to keep them living, and I forgot to bleed it. From this, you want to get your fillets. You can either keep the skin on. My knife can't do it. But you you can get the scales off, but I don't do that. I just get all the meat off. You want to put your thumb on the skin. And you want to make sure while you're going through to lift your knife and check to see if you are getting all the meat. Don't be worried to go through the skin, it's really tough. You're gonna have to push really hard to get through that skin. Just main focus on trying to get all the meat off that. I see a lot of people doing this sawing thing. You don't wanna saw it. That just ruins the meat. You get the last little bit. And then you have your fillet. And repeat that with the other side. And this was a tutorial on how to fillet your largemouth. Thank you for watching, I really did appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe. The algorithm will love you for it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.